everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home or on the go, traveling, or in a new scenario, a new place. It's just going to be body weight today. So this is an easy one, again, mixed in with the bands that you can do anywhere. It doesn't take a lot of space and you're only going to use your body weight. You can always add weight to some things, but I want to make sure that you can still get a great workout in without any equipment. Okay, so we're going to start with some push-ups. Push-ups are the easiest thing. When I am needing a quick workout, or if I'm needing, something to do when I don't have any of my stuff with me, I usually do push-ups and lunges. So those are the two things we're going to start with. So let me put this down a little lower. Remember, no matter where you are, you can still use a countertop or a treadmill or a chair or a bench, some sort of elevated surface to ease up on these a little bit so that you can have really good form and still get the benefit of the push-up. You can do them on your knees, your toes, alternate between. There's a lot of different ways. So let's get started. Remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to move. Okay, so let's do 10. In any form that you're doing them, the form is the same. So you want your hands beneath your shoulders. You want a straight line from the top of your head down through your heels. And you want to keep your hips flat. And 10. Now, also, it's really easy to want to kind of dip your head. It's really a common thing that you see people do. So really think about not allowing this to happen. Keep your chin tucked. Lower your chest towards the floor or the counter or the chair, whatever you're using. Think about lowering your chest, keeping your chin tucked so that your cervical spine stays in a good alignment. Okay, next we're going to do reverse lunges. So we've done these a lot. I like reverse lunges for so many reasons. They're a really great workout, but they're a really good way to stay in good form. No matter what exercise you're doing, you want to stay in good form so you don't get injured. So start forward, step back, and down. Now, just to the point where you're just like, okay, I'm going to kneel down. That's the form. You don't have to touch your knee. You don't have to go that deep. You can just go this deep. The form is the same. Now, you want your weight in that front heel, so you're sitting back. That's why I like reverse lunges so much, is because it forces you to go backwards. You can do lots of different varieties of lunges, walking lunges, forward lunges, side lunges, but it's much more difficult to stay in proper form doing like a walking lunge or just like a stepping forward lunge, because the weight wants to go forward. So we want to keep our weight going backwards. Now, these are ones that you can do, like I said, no weight. Do them standing at your kitchen counter so that you do sit back. You leave your hands here and really sit back. Use your hands for that balance. Or use something next to you here for balance. That will also allow you to continue to sit back. One more each side. All right, good. Now remember, you can do those in a smaller range of motion, but the form stays the same, so it's a pretty big step back, down a little bit. Squeeze those glutes as you come up. Okay, now we're going to do some punches. Punches are a great exercise for the shoulders and the back. So what I'm going to have you do is we're going to punch up, up, down, down. So 4 diagonals out to the corners, all right? So I want you to get into good athletic position, hips back, knees bent, tummy tight. Now we're going to punch up, up, down, down. Punch it hard. If this is the first time you've ever done punches, just go through the motions and see how it feels. 5. And then add a little bit of extra oomph as you go. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10. Okay, next time you go through those, start with the opposite arm. The third time you go through, start going down and then up. So it challenges your brain a little bit, gets your muscles working in a lot of different ways. That's a big shoulder exercise. If that's the first time you've ever punched, you may have a little bit of soreness back in here. It's a big eccentric kind of load on that shoulder. So like I said, if that's the first time you've ever done it, just kind of go through the motions and then start to pick it up, give it a little oomph as you go. Okay, now we're going to do marches, touching your opposite knee with your opposite hand. So the most advanced would be putting your hands way overhead, because that changes your center of gravity and your balance. You can have your knees down, your hands down here. That's a little bit easier. If that's way too much and you need to hang on to something, then keep marching, even if you're not touching your opposite hand. But touching that opposite hand, you're engaging a little bit of cognitive work, some balance, a little bit of core on the cross. And then this is also one, you could make it more difficult by standing on a pad or a Bosu, or maybe doing it barefoot. That can make it much more difficult because you don't have the stability of that shoe. The other thing is, if you need more of a challenge with it, like I said, you could do those things, slow it way down. You have to spend more time on one foot as you're moving. Okay, good. So try at least 10 on one side of those. Okay, now we're going to do a single leg stance. If single leg is too much for you, you can do a tandem stance or a staggered stance. And I want you to put your arms out to the side, and I want you to touch your nose and go back and forth. So we're going to do this for about 30 seconds. So you're getting a little bit of upper body movement while you're trying to stand on one foot. If this feels really easy to you, turn your head toward the hand that you're touching. And turn each time. That shifts your gaze to shift your proprioception a little bit, making it more challenging. If you don't need any more challenge, you can just stand, add the arms, add the head turn. And now let's do the other foot, or put the other foot in front if you're doing a tandem stance. So each foot will feel a little bit different. One side is usually harder than the other. Make sure when if you are standing on one foot that your hips are level, your hips are square. You're not standing like this, or conversely like this, really trying to hitch it up. Think about everything here being stable. Keep working on those hands. Good. You may find yourself losing your balance a little bit. That's okay, that's good. You're challenging yourself. You can feel it, your toes, your feet, your calves, your knees, your quads, your hips, your core. Everything is having to engage to keep you stable. So that's all good things to help prevent falls. The more balance that you can do and improve upon, the better your chance at reducing falls. Okay, one more. We're going to lower back down to the floor. And we're going to do some bicycle abs. So on your back, knees bent to start. This is one we've done quite often, so if you know what you're doing, go ahead and get started. Remember, you want to flatten your back to that floor, engage your core. And then you can start by just switching your feet here. If that feels okay, put one foot on the floor, keep the other one elevated. If that feels okay and you're able to maintain that flat back here, then you can go ahead and keep both off the floor. If you're just not able to maintain that, try doing it with your knees a little bit more bent, like this. And that will help you maintain that flat back and protect your low back from wanting to take over. One more each side. Okay. Now, if you want to make those more difficult, go more slowly. Add more. Do them on a Bosu, all of that. But all of these things you can do without a single piece of equipment. You can make them all harder by going slower and doing more. Similar with push-ups. If you've got push-ups on your toes mastered, slow them down do a few more. That'll be much more challenging. Okay, so just like always, make sure you go through these at least once. And then if you want a good full workout, you want to keep moving, do 5 more minutes of cardio, come back through, do these again, do that a couple more times, and then you'll have a great full body workout. Take you probably about an hour, especially if you followed up with a cool down and stretches. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful holiday, and we'll see you next time.